Hey, good evening. It's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show at 10:39 p.m. East Coast time here in Philadelphia. And we're a little bit late because I was taking a class. Even I take classes. And so I was learning a little bit about Chat GPT and how you can use it in the Agile world. So it was an interesting experiment. Some of the things we've already shown on our weekend episode, but some interesting things on out there. There's some people really trying to stay up to date and ahead of the game as far as the AI chat bots out there. So it was pretty good. I'll share some links on what the class was later. I think I shared one of them in my LinkedIn. So we'll see how that goes. And tonight we talk about jobs. This is our Tuesday night program. I was kind of like, it was late because that class didn't end till like after 9. Then I had to take Jerry out and entertain the cats and all. But I wanted to do one because I heard Facebook had some layoffs projected. Altesian had some layoffs, if I mispronounced the name, but that's what I would call it. And that's the company that owns Jira. So I wanted to see what was out there, what might show up in the since the last time we were here, and how the job market going. So with that, let's jump over to, there's a little picture of me, and there's my big video here. So this is the report as of this week, and I will put the banner across the bottom. Start with the U.S. job report going across, scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And again, these are data for the past month, what's been posted on LinkedIn. So some of those layoffs may not reflect yet, but you can see some here in the United States, some EU stuff, a lot more red this week than there was last week. So we'll see how that goes, and it'll be interesting to see how this changes with next week's data too. So in the United States, let's look at the Agile business analyst, Digital business analyst. Both went down. Wow, Agile business analyst went down 25,000 since last week, and business analysts went down 27,000 here in the States. But they're still up there, 209, 213,000 positions for the respective jobs. Scrum Master, almost just under 100,000 positions posted over the past month, down 6,000, so it's down 6%. Scrum Master Remote, still around 19,000 positions out there, down 1,300. Product Owner Agile, that's stable at 27,000. Only went down like 100 and some odd. Agile Product Owner, again, 80,000, went up 926. Pretty much, I don't know, maybe I messed this up. I don't know, but Agile Project Manager is pretty much the same. I have to double check that number. That may or may not be right. Agile Project Manager Remote only changed by 47. It's still at 43,000. Project Manager, 270,000, up 7,000. Enterprise Coach, that's up for the United States. 1,200 positions, so it's at 25,000. Agile Coach is at 41,000. It went down by 4,000 positions. Agile Remote went up. Interesting. Agile Remote went up 3,500 to 34,000 positions across the country. And Agile went down by 20,000, but it's still at 269,000. So real quick. So that's the United States. I'm going to go down real quick, jump over here to the certifications for the United States. And this is going to be a quicker show because, one, I'm exhausted and I got to go to bed soon. So certifications here in the United States. CSM, pretty stable, still at 10,000. PSM, stable again at 2,600 positions. Safe Agile, and you can say it's pretty stable at 7,900 positions. Less, pretty stable at 963. Kanban went down by 4,000, but it's still at 42,000. Oh, and by the way, so Jennifer's coming back. She's coming back next month. Tomorrow we have the meetup for how to stay neutral in a facilitation activity. So I got some little bit of presentation material. Maybe we'll do some practice exercises for those who register on Zoom. You got to go on Zoom to get on it. So that's there. CSPO 718, SPC Agile 121, down 11. PMI ACP stable at 970, only went down 69. And then PMP still at 307,000 positions that won a PMP, down by 30,000. So it's down 10% since last week. Okay, so there's that. So let's look at European Union, because I don't know if anybody here in the East, or definitely no one on the East Coast awake. So what is it, 7:45 on the West Coast? So maybe they'd be looking at that. So let's look at the EU. So I know I got a lot of people in the EU go look at this at night and across the world. So EU, pretty stable from a business analyst perspective, whether it be Agile or not, with 6,700 Agile business analysts, 18,000 business analysts. Let's say Scrum Master went down 2,500 to 28,542. And Scrum Master remotes there. Product owner Agile still the same as that 10,000 positions there. Same with Agile product owner, not much change. Now Agile project manager went down 2,000, right? So that's almost, I don't know what the percentage is, but it used to be, now it's 31,000 positions for Agile project manager. The remote one's pretty much the same. This is interesting. Where the U.S. project manager went up, the European Union project manager came down by 5,000. It's now at 62. So it's probably about 7% or somewhere in there. Enterprise coach, it's interesting how they don't really use the enterprise coach there in Europe. It went down 1,200 positions, down to 232 positions total. So it really crashed. Agile coach pretty much stayed the same at 10,000. And again, if we go all the way down to Agile, it went down 6,000 positions, and it is stable at 218,000 positions in the EU that require or request an Agile background. Okay, so let's look at my little town of Philadelphia. So looking at Philadelphia here, let's see what's Philadelphia got. Where's my mouse? Gone. All right, Philadelphia business analyst, still pretty much the same ballpark, both around 4,600, 4,700 positions. Scrum Master 5,000, no change. Remotes went up a couple, so maybe they need some more hires people. Product owner positions pretty stable since last week. The Agile project manager still at 5,000, went down by 500. Project manager went down 338, which is not much considering it's got 10,000 postings. Everything else is pretty much the same all the way down the board. And then Agile again, I always talk about that, where there was 26,000 positions posted for Agile, and that's up 1,000. So that's a good number to be up on that as far as that's concerned. All right, so let's look at the graphs. What's the graphs looking like here? So according to the graphs, we're looking at the greater Philadelphia. So we're still showing Philadelphia. Pretty stable this last week. It's kind of interesting how we were last year. And July way up there. Now we're down a lower level compared to this year for the different jobs. And it looks like some things are stabling out. Not much growth. Some kind of drop down for Philadelphia. Okay. So let's look at the U.S. Let's look at the U.S. number. Let me scroll back a little bit on that one. U.S. So I'll put the scroll bar for the U.S. jobs up there. So U.S. jobs, again, it last 2 weeks ago, it all came back down. Looks like it's stable. Looks like, what's this job here? This is business analyst. It came down a little bit from last week. Everything else looks pretty much the same as it was the week before. A couple, yeah, they're pretty stable. Everything's pretty stable here across the United States. Let's look at European Union. I want to show the European Union. Let's look at the graph of the European Union. Again, you can see that mistake. I guess I really should take that piece of data off the chart. Wonder if I could do that. Can I do it? What happens if I hit delete? If I hit delete, boom. There we go. All right, so I deleted that one. I hope it didn't delete the whole thing. Maybe it did. Control Z. What's it doing? Two. There we go. I think it took it the whole thing. It did. I'll have to mess with it. I'm going to delete it right now just so we can kind of see. I don't know, I'll skip that data point when I go mess with the numbers. Yeah, it disappeared. So as you can see, a lot of the stuff's pretty stable for the European Union. Did spike up. What spiked up last week? Looks like project manager spiked up, but it came back down to where it was before. A couple little spikes here. What are these? Looks like Scrum Master spiked up last week, but now they're all back down again. Pretty stable. Not much change. All righty. So those are the flows for that. And let's go. Let's make this minimized. Let's look at stocks. Like I said, we're not going to go crazy this week. We're going to stay pretty light and keep it short. Meta platforms. Now, I put them up. I usually don't track them, but maybe we'll add it to it just because it is Facebook, one of the biggest companies in the tech industry. And for the past day, they're up 7.5%, 7.25%. So they went up. Past 5 days, they're up 6%. Past month, really jumped. I guess what was that? Monday, the 13th. But then they said, here's some of the announcements, the layoffs 5 hours ago. So I guess that was today. They announced 13 hours ago. So it'll be interesting to see how this affects their stock price and their advertising for next week. So I kind of wanted to look at that. So it gives us an idea. Let's see what we look like. It looks like it bumped up today. I mean, if you look, someone knew they were going to go do some layoffs, but it looks like it's grown. Just today alone is up by 7.25%. So that's pretty good. All right, let's go look at the next one. Let's look at Altigen. So past 5 days, they've gone down, right? If you look at the past month, let's see how they're doing. They're down 14% over the past month, down 9% over the past 5 days, and today they're up 1%. If we look at theirs, so there, it's interesting how one article says acts 500 jobs, another one says act cuts 5% of its workforce. So it's interesting that they both have that. My biggest fear when I hear this stuff, I hear a lot of it is project management. So a lot of Scrum Master, a lot of Agile stuff. So I'm just kind of representing work. Heavy hearts. Video conference payments. The company Zoom here and music streaming service provider among the rival to reveal large layoffs in 2023. So it sounds like a couple other places are going to go do some layoffs are coming. My fears are going to hit Scrum Master and project management jobs. I heard that was something like at Facebook. So my point is get some certs, man. But why you got a job? Do it now. If you're in there, I don't want to scare anybody. But all right, and now let's look at Alphabet. Here's Google. Google's up today, up looks like 3.4%. Past 5 days, what we got here? Down a little bit over the past couple of days, month. And the month down 3%. Any news? Stock, ChatGPT, Bing to AI threats likely. Stock rise outperforms the market. So I've been using a lot of ChatGPT and taking the classes, so we'll see how that goes. So that's what I got today. I didn't want to go on Twitter, so I'm not going to go on Twitter. I'm going to stay off today. By the way, I got the meetup post I had. I posted up on LinkedIn. I got hit with a warning from my flag picture of Sweden. Apparently, Twitter does not like the Swedish flag. Apparently, it's offensive. It's terrible. I think they need to delete their AI and Twitter and start over. Just clear the memory because it's been so corrupted over the past couple of years. Clear it all. Start gathering the data all over again. Because the problem is, what people don't understand, once you start going that path, it's just like those videos, like, oh, this person like this, so let's just keep feeding it. It just feeds that animal from an AI perspective, and if they don't write the code right, it's just going to be junk in the long run, and there's no way you can fix it. So with that, I say, I hope you have a good night. We'll see how next week goes. We'll see what the layoffs impact on the stock prices. If there's any news out of some other companies coming. I want to wish everyone the best, safe scrumming. May you do well, and wish the best. See you tomorrow morning, and don't forget our meet up tomorrow, 6:00 Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about facilitating in a neutral stance, because it's a good tool to have in your toolbox as a Scrum Master or Agile coach. With that, I say have a great night. See you tomorrow.